My beloved child, there are moments when you find yourself standing at the boundary between what you already know and what you have never experienced. It is in that very intersection that I call out from the depths of eternity. This call is not the noise of the world, nor the echo of fleeting desires, but a sound that is clear, steady, and born from the one who created you. I call you without error, without omission. For before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you and had already set apart the path you would walk. When your heart grows still, you will recognize my voice, the call that leads you into a new chapter, a journey I have long prepared for you. You may not expect that in the midst of busyness, in the clamor of the city, I am still able to reach your heart. I do not shout to seize your attention, I whisper. And yet the strength of my voice is enough to break through the hardest shell you have put on over the years. I do not come to frighten you, but to lift you from weariness and to offer you a beginning you never imagined possible. My child, my call is not meant to take you to a physical place, but to usher you into a new reality, one where old burdens lose their hold, where wounds of the soul are healed, and where your view of the future is no longer stained by past disappointments. But to enter this place, you must learn something that seems simple, yet is deeply challenging: to pause before me. Pausing is not merely the absence of outward action, but the release of what has been gripping your mind so that your full attention is given to me. Just a few moments may be enough, and yet those moments can become the turning point of your life. This pause is not a delay born of avoidance, nor an empty interval of idleness. It is the act of stepping out of chaos and into a quiet place, where I can reveal to you what your soul most needs to hear. In those moments, the defenses you have built will begin to fall. The voices of doubt, fear, and self-condemnation will fade, making room for a deep silence, not the emptiness of loneliness, but a space filled with my presence. As I have spoken, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. In this stillness, what you will feel first is not rebuke, but the comfort of my embrace. I will place my hand on your shoulder and say, "You are not alone." How many times have you thought you had to fight through life by yourself, when in truth I have always walked beside you? When you slow down, you will see that I have never abandoned you, not even for a moment. I do not ask you to run swiftly, nor do I demand that you carry what you cannot. I only want you to know that every step you take rests in my care. Pausing before me is also the moment when you gather courage to face yourself. I know the world has taught you to stay busy in order to forget pain, to fill time so you will not hear the cry of your own soul. But when you choose to pause, nothing can cover over those hidden places anymore. Yet, my child, I do not let you face them alone. I touch each wound, not to deepen your pain, but to heal. When my light shines, darkness cannot remain, and what once bound you will begin to lose its grip. Still, this does not mean every problem will vanish instantly. There will still be questions without answers, still tears that fall. But even in the midst of these, transformation begins. You will learn to see each new day as an opportunity, not just the continuation of the old. You will realize that if I have kept you through the moments you thought you could never endure, then surely I will lead you through whatever lies ahead. My child, in those moments of pausing before me, you will find something more precious than silver or gold. The peace the world cannot give and cannot take away. This peace does not depend on circumstances, nor is it shaken by storms. It is like a child holding tightly to a father's hand while walking through a crowded street. Though the world around may be noisy and chaotic, that hand is the assurance that all will be well. And this is my invitation: draw near to me. And I will draw near to you, James 4:8. I do not call you to come in exchange for a reward, nor to prove your worth, but to be with you, to share every moment. When you respond, you will see that I change the way you perceive everything. Where you once saw a wall, you will see a door. Where you once saw failure, you will see a lesson. Where you once saw loss, you will see an opportunity to love more deeply. All of this begins with one simple decision: to make time for me. The space and the timing in the external world are only means. What I seek is the willingness within your heart. When your heart opens, I will come in, bringing light, life, and renewal that nothing on this earth can compare with. My child, when you choose to pause and open your heart to me, a profound process begins to unfold. It does not roar like thunder or rush like a waterfall, but it moves gently and steadily, like the sunrise spreading its light across the land. You may expect an instant change, but I want you to know that what I do is lasting. And for it to be lasting, it must begin deep within you. I do not patch over cracks on the surface. I rebuild the foundation. Your heart is like precious soil, yet stones of anxiety, roots of bitterness, and weeds of doubt have grown over the years. I am not in a hurry to scatter the seeds of blessing on unprepared ground, for I know that valuable seeds require a clean and fertile environment in which to grow. So I patiently remove each stone from your heart, the fears that weigh you down, the old wounds that have not yet healed, the thoughts that make you belittle yourself. I pull out each root of bitterness and disappointment, even if it feels uncomfortable when old memories are stirred up. But remember, only when they are brought into the light do they lose the power to bind you. When the soil of your heart is cleared, I begin to plant new seeds, seeds of faith, so you will know you are never abandoned. Seeds of hope, so you may wait for good things with patience. Seeds of love, so you may love without condition or expectation of return. These seeds will not sprout overnight, but they will take root deeply. And one day, you will behold an entirely new garden rising within you. My child, when your heart is renewed, the way you see everything will also change. In the past, when difficulties came, you asked, "Why is this happening to me?" But when I am with you, you will ask, "What is this teaching me?" The question changes, and so does the perspective. You will realize that even what seems like loss can become part of a greater plan. Even old wounds can become a living testimony of my strength and grace. The renewal within you will also flow into your relationships with others. When you realize how much you have been forgiven, it will be easier for you to forgive others. When you recognize that my love for you is unshakable, you will learn to be patient and gentle with those around you. You will no longer feel the need to win every argument, because you know that true victory is keeping peace and love in your heart. Your strength will no longer be the power to dominate, but the strength to uplift. This will also transform the way you make decisions. When you are aware that I am guiding you, you will no longer choose your path out of fear or pressure from others, but according to my leading and eternal values. You will learn to believe that when one door closes, it is not the end, but often an invitation to seek a better way. I will also help you step out from under the control of the past. Painful memories that once dictated your emotions will gradually lose their power. They will not disappear instantly, but they will become like chapters closed in a book still remembered, but no longer defining you. Instead, each new day will become a blank page that you and I will write together. As the scripture says, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone. Behold, the new has come. 2 Corinthians 5:1-7. I do not simply renew part of you, but all of you. I renew the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act. One who once lived in doubt can become a source of encouragement for many others. One who once kept their heart closed can become an instrument for healing broken relationships. My beloved child, I do not compel you. I honor your will. I am always ready to walk with anyone who chooses to journey beside me. But it is you who must open the door of your heart. When you take a step forward, I will go before you to lead, walk beside you to accompany, and remain behind you to protect. You will never be alone, even when you feel as though no one understands or cares. There will be moments along this path when you feel weary. Change, even when it is good, requires patience and endurance. Yet, in those very moments when you feel exhausted, I will provide new strength. This strength does not come from your own striving, but flows from the living connection between you and me, just as hidden streams flow quietly beneath dry ground. When you turn to me, that living water will well up, refreshing both your spirit and your body. As you continue to walk, one day you will realize you have gone farther than you ever imagined. You will look back and see that what once hindered you has become a stepping stone that propelled you forward. You will know that pausing in my presence has set in motion a transformation that cannot be reversed. Every moment you have spent with me has sown seeds that will bear fruit far beyond your expectations. My child, I want you to understand that every moment you spend with me is not merely a spiritual practice, but a sacred appointment I established long before. Nothing happens outside of my sight, even when you think you have chosen a quiet moment by chance. I have already prepared the setting and arranged for my call to reach you exactly when you need it most. I know what is stirring in your heart better than anyone else. I hear the sighs you never voice. I see the silent tears that fall, and I feel the weight of what you have carried for years. You have often thought those burdens were yours to bear alone. You have grown accustomed to hiding your weariness behind a smile, or filling your days with unending tasks to avoid confronting the pain within. But, my child, I did not create you to live that way. I did not form you merely to exist, trudging through life with a heavy heart. I created you so that you may know freedom, so that you may experience joy and peace even in the midst of trials. When you remain close to me, I will begin lifting the burdens from your shoulders, not by tearing them away abruptly, leaving you bewildered, but by removing them layer by layer, so that each step becomes lighter. I know there are things you cling to, believing they define you, or fearing that if you let them go, you will lose part of yourself. But remember, you are not defined by your wounds, nor limited by your failures. You are defined by the love I have for you and by the plans I have ordained for your life. My child, I have seen you stand at the crossroads many times, uncertain of which way to turn. I have seen your hesitation, born out of fear of making the wrong choice, of later regretting your decision. But when you place your hand in mine, you will discover that no step taken with me is wasted. Even when the road is rough, I use it to build strength within you. Every path with me leads to a good end, even if you cannot yet see it. There are prayers you have spoken yet not seen answered. You have wondered if I hear you, if your words vanish into an empty silence. But, my child, every prayer has reached my throne. Not a single cry of yours is ignored. Not a single tear forgotten. If I do not answer immediately, it is not because I have overlooked you, but because I am preparing something better, or because the time is not yet ripe. Just as a seed must remain hidden in the soil before it breaks through, so too the things you have asked for require time to grow in the best way for you. In the waiting, I want you to know that my presence itself is the greatest reward. Blessings, breakthroughs, and answered prayers are precious, but I myself am the treasure beyond compare. When you learn to rejoice simply in being with me, you will find that the timing of blessings no longer weighs so heavily on you, for you will already have discovered peace and strength in the here and now. My child, I also want you to know that the renewal I bring is not only for your own benefit. When I heal you and lift you up, it is also so you may become an encouragement to others. Your stories of how you overcame, of how you found light in the darkness, will be a beacon for those still wandering through the night. I will use the very things the enemy intended for your destruction as instruments to rescue many others. I call you to remain alert, to recognize when I am at work. Do not let the noise of the world distract you. Do not let negative voices cause you to miss my words. You do not need to prove your worth to anyone. You need only to live in the truth that you are chosen and deeply loved by me. When you hold firmly to this, you will walk with a confidence that nothing in this world can shake. As you continue in my presence, you will see transformation becoming clearer. What once filled you with fear will lose its power. Worries that consumed your thoughts will give way to trust. Dreams you believed had died will begin to stir again. You will see me opening doors where you once found no keys. And when that happens, you will understand that every step with me, whether taken in tears or in joy, has always been part of a perfect plan. Therefore, remain steadfast by my side. Do not rush to leave before seeing results. For many of the things I do begin quietly before they become visible outwardly. Let your heart be firm, for I am at work even when you do not perceive it. This is only the beginning of the transformation I have ordained for you. Ahead of you lies much wonder waiting to be embraced, and I will walk with you through it all. My beloved child, as you step through the threshold of stillness and openness, I desire to lead you into a new journey, a journey of deeper communion and step-by-step guidance. I have not called you merely to grant a fleeting moment of comfort and then leave you to struggle on your own. I have called you to walk with me so that your days are no longer shaped by uncertainty, but by the assurance that you are walking with the one who knows the way. I want you to grasp an important truth. Every step you take with me carries meaning. Even when results are not immediate, the world measures value by speed and efficiency, but I measure it by faithfulness and obedience. When you follow my leading, you are sowing seeds that will one day spring forth in their appointed season. Do not underestimate the small steps you take today, for they may become the very foundation of a great breakthrough in the days to come. Along this path, there will be times I lead you into unfamiliar places, circumstances you have never experienced, and challenges you have never faced. My purpose is not to confuse you, but to expand your vision and strengthen your faith. If you remain only within your comfort zone, you will never discover the true strength I have placed within you. It is when you step onto the waters that you realize, my hand is always ready to lift you up if you falter. As you pass through new territories, remember this: I go before you to prepare the way. I walk beside you to accompany you, and I stay behind you to guard you. Not a single step you take is ever alone. I see the obstacles long before they appear in your sight, and I have already prepared the way for you to overcome them. You may feel the weight of pressure, but know this: the strength to endure does not come from you alone, but from the living connection between you and me. There will be moments when you do not understand why I choose this path over another. You may think another route would be easier or quicker, but, my child, the path I choose is always the best, not only because it leads to the destination, but because it shapes you to be strong and wise enough when you arrive there. What I care about is not merely where you end up, but who you become along the way. Throughout this journey, you will find that I teach you to hear my voice more clearly. My voice is not always like thunder, but often like a gentle breeze, a quiet stirring in your heart, or a deep peace amidst difficult choice. As you practice listening, you will learn to distinguish my voice from the voice of fear or doubt. And when you can discern my voice, you will no longer worry about losing your way. For I am the good shepherd who leads his sheep to green pastures and still waters. Psalm 2:3-2. My child, I also want you to know that this journey will not always be easy. There will be days when the winds blow fiercely against you, when criticism surrounds you, or when obstacles seem insurmountable. Yet in those very days, I want you to remember what I have done for you before. Recall the times I rescued you when you thought all was lost. Recall the promises I have faithfully kept. Remember that I never begin a work without intending to bring it to completion. Always keep this in mind, even when you stumble. I will not abandon you. I patiently steady your steps, lift you up when you fall, wipe the dust from you, and say, let us continue. I do not count your failures to condemn you, but I count the times you rise again to encourage you. To me, each time you stand up is proof that the flame within you has never been extinguished. My beloved, this journey is an invitation to live in daily partnership with me. I do not want you to seek me only in times of trouble, but to learn to walk with me even in the ordinary days. When you begin to seek me not only out of need but out of love, you will discover a new depth in our relationship. And from that relationship, you will draw a stability that no circumstance can ever take away. I have begun the good work within you, and I will bring it to completion. Keep holding my hand, step by step, trusting that each day you are moving closer to what I have promised. And when you remain steadfast, there will come a day when you look back and realize that not a single moment spent with me was wasted. Every part of it has shaped you into the person I intended you to become. My child, I want you to remember that not a single step you take is accidental or misplaced. Every path you walk, whether smooth or rough, lies within a perfect map I have drawn beforehand. I am not only concerned about your destination, but I also care about each moment along the way, because it is in those very moments that I am training and transforming you. I know that you often wish for everything to happen quickly. You long for my promises to be fulfilled instantly, and you hope that every difficulty would vanish overnight. But, my child, if all that you asked for came immediately, your faith would remain weak and your endurance would never be strengthened. I allow you to go through seasons of waiting not to discourage you, but to establish deep roots within you, so that when strong winds come, you will remain unshaken. Just as an ancient tree needs time for its roots to sink deeply into the soil, so too do you need time for your faith to take firm hold in me. Understand that in every season of waiting, I am still at work. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but in the spiritual realm, great things are in motion. I am preparing people, circumstances, and even you yourself, so that everything will be ready at the appointed time. I never lead you into an empty room. I set the stage before I open the door for you to enter. On this journey, there will be turns you did not expect. Sometimes you may think you are going in the right direction, but I will gently guide you onto another path. It is not because you are wrong, but because I know what lies at the end of that road, and I want to protect you from harm you cannot yet see. There will also be times when I lead you through roads harder than you think you can endure, not to crush you, but to reveal the hidden strength I placed in you long ago. You will come to see that I am not only the one who guides you, but also the one who guards you. I see the schemes of the enemy from afar, and I set up invisible barriers so they cannot touch you. There may be times when you are confused because one of your plans suddenly fails. But my child, sometimes that is my protection, because I know that plan would have led you into spiritual danger or jeopardized your future. I will also teach you to see difficulties not as signs of failure, but as opportunities for me to display my power, just as Israel stood before the Red Sea, believing there was no way forward. It was at that very moment that I parted the waters for them to pass through. Exodus 1:4-1:22. Without challenges, you would never witness the miracles I can perform. And when you behold those miracles, your faith will be stronger than ever before. My child, do not compare your journey with that of others. Each person I lead has a unique path, a unique bus. If you look at others and see them moving faster, you may feel discouraged or doubt yourself, but you do not know what I am doing in their lives, just as they do not know what I am doing in yours. Trust that I know the perfect time to lift you up, and when that time comes, no one will be able to stop it. Do not let the negative words of others divert you from your course. There will be voices of doubt, comments that make you want to quit. But remember, they are not the one who set the direction of your life. Only my voice has the authority to determine your way. When you keep your eyes fixed on me, every lie will lose its power. I know there will be times when you feel weary, even tempted to stop altogether. But it is in those very moments that I invite you to draw strength from my source. Just as the eagle renews its feathers to soar higher, you too need seasons of resting in me to be renewed. When you return to the journey, you will find your wings stronger, your vision clearer, and your resolve deeper. And as you continue to walk forward, one day you will look back and realize that every turn, every difficult stretch, and every season of waiting carried meaning. You will see that I overlooked no detail, and that everything played a role in preparing you for what I had ordained. In that moment, you will understand that I was never late. I was aligning all things so that, when the appointed time arrived, the glory would shine brighter than you ever imagined. My beloved child, now I want you to know this. You are closer than ever before to the moment of breakthrough. This is not merely a comforting thought to help you push a little further. It is a reality that is already taking shape in the spiritual realm. I have prepared both the stage and the people. I have aligned factors unseen to your eyes. and now they are converging for a moment that I have predestined. You have endured seasons that felt unending, when my promise seemed too distant, and you wrestled with the thought that you had been forgotten. But, my child, those seasons were never wasted. They were times of training to teach you to rely on me more than on your own strength. If I allowed you to walk through long days of waiting, it was because I knew you needed a solid foundation to sustain what I am about to entrust to you. Great blessings require great inner strength, and such strength is only formed when you learn to stand firm under pressure. Do you know that even now, as you hear these words, a shift is taking place not only around you but also within you? The things that once made you falter are losing their hold. The lies that haunted you are being exposed. The fear that once paralyzed your steps is dissolving under the light of the truth I give. Deep within you, a new faith is being forged, not the fragile kind easily shaken, but a faith tested and refined through fire. When that faith stands firm, you will begin to see doors open in ways you never expected. Opportunities will appear that you did not seek, and invitations will come from places you never imagined. These are not coincidences, they are my hand leading you into the position where my promises will unfold. You will recognize my touch in these moments, for they will be marked by a deep peace the world cannot give. I also want you to know that this breakthrough is not only to change your external circumstances, but to shape you into a completely new person. You will not only receive blessings, but you will also carry a new authority in the sphere where I have placed you. You will walk not merely as one who has been rescued, but as an instrument of rescue for others. You will speak words of encouragement not drawn from knowledge alone, but from your own lived experience, and those words will carry power to break chains for those who hear them. My child, prepare your heart. When I open a new season, you must be ready to step in without hesitation. There will be old things you must release in order to receive the new. This may feel difficult, for you have grown accustomed to them. But trust that I never take away unless I am about to give you something greater. Remember what I have declared. Behold, I make all things new. Revelation 2:1-5. All things, not just some. I desire to renew the way you see, the way you live, and the way you dream. You may ask, how will I know for sure that this is my time, my child? You will recognize it through the signs I place within your heart. The weariness that has weighed on you will be replaced with a fresh surge of energy. The doubts that tormented your mind will give way to deep conviction. Even before your circumstances shift, you will sense an inner transformation, as though you have already stepped into a new space filled with hope and purpose. And as you walk in this breakthrough, never forget that its source does not lie in you, but in me. I am the one who heard your cries, who gathered every tear, and who turned them into seeds for a new harvest. Every step you now take is evidence of my grace in your life. And when you tell your story, tell it so that others will know that the one who did it for you can do it for them as well. I have begun this work, and I will not abandon it unfinished. Everything is converging toward the appointed moment, and when it arrives, you will understand why I allowed things to unfold in the order they did. You will see that not one step was wasted, not one tear shed in vain. All of it has been woven together for this moment of glory. My child, when the breakthrough comes, what matters is not only that you receive it, but also that you know how to guard and cultivate it. Many receive blessings only to let them slip away, because they do not understand the principle of stewardship. I do not want you to taste a single moment of brilliance and then return to the old cycles. I want what I give you to become a firm foundation, carrying you forward into even greater heights. To sustain your breakthrough begins with guarding your heart. You must remain vigilant against thoughts that might slip in and undermine the faith that has just been established. There will be voices, both external and internal, whispering doubts. Perhaps this is just luck, or it won't last long. My child, you must recognize these as lies, for they do not come from me. When I bring forth something new, it is not fragile like the morning dew that quickly fades. It is built upon the unshakable foundation of my eternal promise. Another principle you must hold on to is maintaining closeness with me even when all is going well. Some only turn to me in moments of hardship. Yet when blessings come, they are drawn into new busyness and slowly drift from the very source of their breakthrough. I do not give good things to replace our fellowship, but to strengthen it. Continue to spend time in my presence. Listen for my guidance, and allow me to show you how to use what I have entrusted to you with wisdom. You must also understand that breakthrough does not mean the absence of challenges. On the contrary, it can open the door to new responsibilities and new territories you are called to steward. For this reason, you must train in spiritual discipline to maintain strength. Just as a soldier who is promoted must take on stricter training, you too must prepare your spirit to stand firm under new pressures. I will teach you the principle of sowing and reaping. Whenever I place something in your hands, seek ways to share it rather than clinging tightly to it for yourself. What you release in love, I will multiply. Do not fear loss when you give, for I am the source that never runs dry. As you become a channel of blessing, I will continue to pour more into you, knowing you will not let it stagnate. Be cautious with new connections that arise after your breakthrough. Some may draw near to you because of what you possess, not because they truly love you. I will grant you discernment to recognize those whom I have placed by your side to walk with you, and those from whom you must keep distance. Do not let praise or enticing invitations lure you away from the path I have set before you. Learn to remember and recount the works I have done. Memory does not only cultivate gratitude, but also becomes a weapon against doubt when fresh trials appear. As you recall the times I rescued you, your faith will grow strong that I will do it again. Just as Israel was instructed to set up stones to remember the day I parted the Jordan River, Joshua 4:6-7, so too must you find ways to record your spiritual victories, passing them down to future generations. I also want you to know that true breakthrough is not measured by outward results alone, but by inward transformation. Others may see your achievements, but what matters is whether your heart remains humble and bound to me. Humility will keep you safe before my eyes. For God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6. My child, guard yourself against the temptations that come with blessing. The enemy knows he cannot easily block you from receiving what I give, so he will attempt to distract you, persuading you to misuse the very gift entrusted to you. He will whisper, "Now that you are fine, you no longer need to rely so deeply on him." Do not be deceived. The more you are given, the more you must cling to the giver. Let your breakthrough become a living testimony. Do not hide it away as a private secret. Share it to encourage those who have lost hope. When they hear your story, they will realize that I am still at work, that my promises are still active, and that what I did for you, I can also do for them. In this way, Your breakthrough will not only transform your life, but also bring change to many others. Remember, the breakthrough is not an ending point, but a new chapter in your journey with me. It is the foundation for stepping into greater things that I have already prepared. Keep your heart grateful, your spirit watchful, and your fellowship with me alive. For when you do, the flow of my blessings will never cease. My beloved, when you have learned how to sustain and nurture what I entrust to you, I will lead you into a new season, one where your influence expands and your purpose shines clearer than ever before. I do not grant you breakthrough merely to alter your personal circumstances, but to equip you as a vessel of transformation for the places I desire to touch through your life. You have walked through a refining process through fire, through seemingly endless waiting, through trials that once made you believe you would collapse. Now, what you carry is no longer just your own story, but a spiritual legacy. Every victory you have won, every tear you have shed in perseverance, holds lessons and wisdom that many out there are longing for. My child, I have placed within you a treasure, and now is the time for you to begin distributing it with intention. As I expand your influence, you will see doors that were once tightly shut suddenly swing open. People who previously paid you no attention will now come to seek your counsel, your help, or even your companionship. You will be invited into places you never imagined you would step foot in. Every invitation and every opportunity is not random. They are part of the plan I have prepared in advance, so that when you enter, every necessary element will already be in place. But remember this, with greater influence will also come greater challenges. The enemy will try to sow seeds of doubt, comparison, or pride in your heart. He will seek to make you forget the true reason I have placed you in this position. That is why you must keep your fellowship with me closer than ever before. Do not let a busy schedule or the applause of people cause you to neglect your time alone with me. Each morning, seek me before you seek anything else. I will give you ideas, solutions, and revelations that do not come from human reasoning, but from my spirit. They may appear as a sudden spark of light while you pray, or as a strong urging you cannot ignore. When they come, write them down, pray over them, and walk wisely in bringing them to life. I will teach you how to discern the right timing and the right people to share them with, so that these seeds of revelation will be protected and bear fruit. In this season, I will also teach you the principle of leadership in my kingdom. True leadership is not about control or domination, but about serving and uplifting others so they may reach their potential. I give you authority not to exalt yourself, but to become a blessing to many. And as you choose humility, I will raise you higher still, because I know you will not allow pride to corrupt the work I entrust to you. You must also understand that not everyone will celebrate your expansion. Some will misunderstand you. Some will question your motives, and others may even attempt to diminish your worth. Do not let these things cause you to falter or to doubt yourself. I have sealed you with my approval. My confirmation is greater than any human recognition. When you stand firm in this truth, no attack can touch your roots. Guard your spiritual space carefully. What you hear, what you see, and what you speak in this season will shape much of the journey ahead. Choose to listen to voices that build your faith. Read words that remind you of truth, and speak words that edify. Stay away from idle conversations, distracting information, and negativity that weakens your spirit. The expansion of your influence is not the destination. but the tool for fulfilling your mission. You are called to be a light in dark places, to carry the fragrance of heaven into spaces where others cannot go. When you are there, you do not simply bring your skills or experiences, you bring my presence. That presence will shift the atmosphere, break invisible chains, and open the way for freedom. Do not hesitate when I lead you into new realms, even if they feel unfamiliar or beyond your current capacity. Comfort is not the place I intend for you to anchor yourself for long. I want you to experience what is beyond your limits, so that you may know that every success you achieve is not by your strength, but by my grace. As you walk in full dependence on me, you will see me do things you never even dared to ask for. Remember that this season is only one part of the long journey I have set before you. The breakthrough you experience today will serve as a stepping stone into even greater seasons ahead. Therefore, do not let your heart grow complacent, but keep it ever yearning, ever seeking, and ever stretching the boundaries of faith. When you remain faithful in guarding and stewarding what I have entrusted to you, you will see me open doors that no one can shut, leading you into places that only my grace could take you. In time, you will look back and realize that every step, whether marked by hardship or triumph, was preparing you for this very moment. Not a single instant was wasted, for everything has worked together toward a good purpose, far beyond what your mind could conceive. My child, I desire to bring you into a new depth of fellowship with me. I have not merely called you to work for me, but first and foremost to be with me. The ultimate aim of every journey is not the accomplishments you may present, but the closeness and oneness between you and the one who created you. Many believe that success in spiritual life is measured by what they achieve, but I tell you, true success is measured by whether you listen and obey my voice. Everything I entrust to you is designed to draw you nearer to me, not to replace the time you spend in my presence. If the work done for me causes you to drift away from me, then you have missed the essence of it all. Understand this: when you remain close to me, you will receive guidance with a clarity you have never known. My voice will no longer be vague, but as familiar as the voice of a dearest friend. My presence will become your first refuge when you face weighty decisions, as well as the place you turn when you simply wish to share your joy or sorrow. This is my deepest desire, that you would live in such fellowship that you no longer need to wait for the right prayer time to speak with me, but that conversation with me flows as naturally as breathing and as constant as life itself. This nearness will not only nourish your spirit, but also shield you from the snares of the new season. When you are close to me, you will quickly discern the subtle schemes of the enemy. They may disguise themselves as opportunities, but the discernment I grant will unveil their true nature. Some doors may appear enticing on the outside, yet within lie traps designed to draw you out of my path. It is intimacy with me that will guard you from stepping into those false turns. I also want to teach you something deeper. Serving me is never separate from abiding in me. Just as a branch cannot bear fruit unless it remains connected to the vine, so you cannot bear true fruit unless you remain in me. John 1:5-4. Every work of spiritual fruitfulness, every lasting result, flows out of this communion. If you focus only on the labor and forget the source, you will quickly become exhausted. But when you abide in me, you will find your strength renewed daily, and your efforts will yield results far beyond your natural capacity. This season will also be a time when I invite you into deeper obedience. Obedience is not merely doing what is easy or convenient, but being willing to say yes even when what I ask surpasses your understanding. There will be times I call you to release something you thought essential, so that you may receive what is better, already prepared by my hand. There will be times I lead you down a path others cannot comprehend. But it is precisely in such moments of obedience that treasures will be unveiled, treasures known only to you and me. I know that obedience can sometimes make you feel alone. Not everyone will understand your decisions, and at times you may walk a path that seems solitary. But remember this, you are never truly alone. For I walk beside you each step of the way, and when you remain steadfast, you will witness the fruit that only full obedience can bring, fruit that endures, unshaken by circumstance or human opinion. In this season, I will also teach you to live in rest amidst the demands of a busy rhythm. Resting in me is not passivity or neglect of responsibility, but working from a place of peace, untouched by anxiety or pressure. As you learn to rest in me, you will discover that your tasks are still completed. Yet without the exhaustion that once weighed you down, you will move in the rhythm of grace, where every action is sustained by my strength. This new season is an invitation for you to become more sensitive to my presence in every circumstance. I am not only present in times of prayer or during gatherings of worship, but also when you are in conversation with someone, when you are handling your work, or even when you are walking alone on a quiet path. This awareness will turn every moment into an opportunity for me to reveal my love, my wisdom, and my power through you. Remember, the goal is not to run quickly to complete a checklist of spiritual tasks, but to walk steadily with me, neither leaving me behind nor rushing ahead of me. When you walk in step with me, you will always be in the right place, at the right time, and with the right purpose. You will not have to strive anxiously to hold on to what I give, because I, myself, will hold it for you. Open your heart so that I may lead you into this new depth. Let me be your greatest joy, the one you turn to, first and last each day. As our fellowship deepens, you will see every area of your life, your work, your relationships, and your dreams realigned and renewed in ways that only I can accomplish. My beloved, as you step further into this new season, I will begin a special time of training not only to help you keep what you have received, but to prepare you for an increase far beyond what you have imagined. True increase is not merely having more, but being entrusted with more tasks, responsibilities, and influence, and to carry such weight. Your foundation must be firm, and your spirit must be mature. The training I give you will not always be comfortable. There will be times when I lead you into challenging situations not to cause you to fall, but to sharpen your discernment and strengthen your endurance. Just as a blacksmith heats and strikes the iron to form it into a sword, so I use the pressures of life to forge within you resilience and spiritual sharpness. You cannot walk in great authority without first learning to stand firm under pressure. My child, I will teach you the principle of faithful stewardship. Before I entrust you with more, I want to see your faithfulness in what I have already placed in your hands. Faithfulness is not only proven in the great tasks before many witnesses, but also in the small, hidden acts unseen by others. When you are faithful in the small, you are building a spiritual record before me, and that record will be the reason I lift you higher. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Luke 16:10 is not just a saying, but a true principle of the kingdom. In this season of training, I will also shape in you the virtue of patience. Some promises I have spoken have not yet come to pass, not because I have forgotten, but because I am completing details that you cannot yet see. Patience is not passive waiting, but an active choice to hold faith and continue in obedience even without visible results. Patience is the mark of mature faith, knowing that my timing is always best, and when it comes, no one can hinder it. Beloved one, I will also teach you the principle of spiritual warfare. Increase and authority are always accompanied by opposition. When you step into new territory, the enemy will not remain still. But do not fear, for I have given you weapons to overcome. My word will be a sharp sword in your hand, prayer will be a shield of protection, and praise will be the power that breaks chains. You will learn that not every battle is fought with sheer strength, but with steadfastness in my word and the guidance of the Spirit. I will also use the relationships around you to train you. There will be people I place near you to refine your character. Just as iron sharpens iron, they may test your patience, but through them you will learn to love, to forgive, and to see others through my eyes. I do not bring them into your life to hinder you, but to complete you. When you learn to respond in love even toward those who are difficult to love, you will reflect my heart to the world. An essential part of this training is to help you understand and walk in proper authority. Authority in the kingdom is not the same as power in the world. The world uses power to control, but I grant authority to serve and to bring freedom. When you use my authority, you do not impose your own will, but you carry out mine. And when you stand in that authority, even the forces of darkness must yield, not because of who you are, but because of the one who dwells within you. I also want you to learn how to guard yourself against spiritual weariness. Work and responsibilities can easily sweep you into an unending cycle. But if you neglect resting in me, you will gradually run dry. Rest is not weakness. It is a strategy to sustain long-term strength. Even my only son, when he was on earth, withdrew from the crowds to find solitary places for prayer. You too need such quiet moments to replenish your strength. I will teach you wisdom in stewardship. Increase is not only a spiritual responsibility, but it also requires wisdom in managing time, talents, and even material resources. When you learn to wisely handle what I entrust to you, you will not be distracted or pulled into pursuits outside of my will. This wisdom will ensure that increase remains a blessing and never turns into a burden. My child, do not despise the small lessons in this season of training. Every challenge you face, every principle you learn, is a building block forming the bridge to your next stage. One day, when you stand in the position I have promised, you will look back and realize it was these very days of training that prepared you with enough strength to stand firm in the place I set you. Do not lose heart. I am right here, walking with you through every lesson and every test. Each step you take in this season is one step closer to the fullness of the plan I have prepared for you. And when the time comes, you will not only receive increase, but also carry the authority to use it for my glory and to release blessing to many others. My beloved, what matters next is learning to walk in what I give without being caught in the snares of busyness or the pressure of results. I do not desire for you to have just a fleeting moment of success, but to walk in endurance, so that everything I give you will not be stolen or fade away. My child, sustainability in the kingdom does not come from holding tightly to everything, but from placing it all under my lordship. When you surrender every outcome back to me, you will feel the weight lift from your shoulders, because you understand that I alone am the one who guards and sustains what belongs to you. Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Psalm 127:1. This truth applies just as much to your work, your relationships, and your calling. In this season, I will teach you the principle of fortifying. Fortifying does not mean standing still, but ensuring the foundation is strong enough to bear the weight of increase. I will show you how to examine every area of your life, from prayer time to relationships, to how you steward resources so that every part is solid. Just as a vine dresser does not rejoice only at the sight of ripe fruit, but also builds fences to guard the vineyard against wild animals and thieves, you too must set spiritual boundaries around what I entrust to you, my child. Fortifying also means keeping your heart pure. Increase can bring human attention, and with it come praise, recognition, as well as jealousy and criticism. You must learn not to let praise lead you into pride, nor criticism cause you to falter. Guard yourself from comparison, for comparison is a subtle trap that robs you of the joy in the portion I have given you. I also want you to remain sensitive to my voice. Even amid busyness, it is easy to be swept up in the rhythm of success and forget that I am the source of it all. Remember that every victory is only a step along the journey, not the final destination. As you continue to seek me in every circumstance, I will continue to lead you into deeper and greater things, my beloved child. I will show you the importance of multiplying your influence with wisdom. Increase is not simply about holding on to what you have, but about sharing and passing it on. You will be called to train, encourage, and lift others so that they too may walk in the freedom and authority you have received. As Paul exhorted Timothy, entrust to faithful people who will be able to teach others. Also, 2 Timothy 2:2. You will see that lasting influence is not found in what you keep for yourself, but in what you sow into the lives of others. A vital part of true endurance is guarding yourself from the exhaustion of the soul. Many begin well but do not finish well, because they allow their spirits to be drained. I do not desire this for you. Therefore, I will lead you into appointed seasons of rest, where you will be refreshed before entering new battles. Resting in me is not giving up, it is being recharged so that you may continue stronger than before. I will also teach you how to withstand new attacks from the enemy. As you hold spiritual ground, he will attempt to reclaim it. At times, he will not strike openly, but will slip in through small cracks, a little complacency, a small distraction, a seed of discord among your ranks. This is why you must remain watchful and guard your heart. Watchfulness does not mean living in fear, but living with spiritual readiness and awareness, so that whenever darkness approaches, you are already prepared to stand against it. I will show you the difference between chasing after results and living from results. Those who chase results live under pressure and fear of failure, but those who live from results work in peace, knowing that victory has already been secured by me. You belong to the latter, for you are not striving to prove your worth, but to reveal my love and my power to the world. My child, to remain steadfast, you must guard yourself against dependence on anything apart from me. Even great blessings cannot become a substitute foundation. Should the day come when I remove something from your life, you must still remain unshaken, for your foundation is me, not the gifts I give. True freedom comes when you know that nothing in this world, whether wealth, position, or relationships, can loosen your grip on me. Let gratitude overflow from your heart. Gratitude will keep your spirit tender and prevent it from hardening. As you thank me for what you already have, You will open the door for more to come. Remember, each day you live is a gift, and every opportunity to serve is an honor. Therefore, walk in this season with open eyes to see what I am doing, with attentive ears to hear my leading, and with a heart ready to obey. When you keep step with my rhythm, you will not only sustain what you already carry, but also be entrusted with more. And as a faithful steward, you will hear me say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." When you complete your journey, my beloved child, I want you to understand clearly that this is not merely a time to receive, but also a season of deeper refinement. Increase brings joy and opportunity, but it also requires a heart that is steady and unshaken by the new challenges that will come. If your focus rests only on what you will gain and not on the preparation to remain steadfast, you will struggle to preserve what I entrust to you. You once longed for this season to arrive sooner, but now you will see that I was not slow in making you wait. I knew you needed a deep enough foundation to withstand the stronger winds ahead. The winds of this season will not be like those of the past. They will be fiercer, more sudden, and sometimes will come from directions you do not expect. Yet if you anchor yourself in me, you will not be swept away. Like a great tree planted with deep roots, you will stand firm and provide shelter for others seeking refuge. In this season of increase, you will encounter many open doors, but not every door is from me. Some opportunities will come as tests to see whether you will choose what is easier, but outside of my will, or whether you will wait for what is best and appointed by me. You must remain alert, for the enemy will disguise his snares as opportunities. That is why I call you to maintain closeness with me, so that when you hear my voice, you recognize it at once and avoid stepping into paths that lead to loss. My child, the true increase I give is not only outward. I care that you are transformed from within. If only your circumstances change, but your spirit does not grow, you will not be able to sustain the blessing. I want your heart to become more steadfast, more grateful, and more humble than ever before. Humility is a mighty shield that guards you from pride, which can cause you to lose everything in an instant. I also want you to understand that increase will bring with it greater responsibility. You will no longer live only for yourself, but become a source of inspiration and support for others. There will be people who look to you for hope, and through the way you live, they will recognize me. This does not mean you must be flawless, but you are called to live authentically and faithfully, so that everyone may clearly see that what you have comes from my grace. I will also grant you wisdom to discern between what is good and what is best. At times, you will have to turn down invitations or seemingly attractive paths in order to remain on the course I have shown you. Saying no is not always easy, especially when it feels as though you are missing an opportunity. But remember, I never take something away unless I have something better for you. In this season, you need to learn how to manage your energy and time. As increase comes, the work will multiply, responsibilities will grow, and voices will call upon you from every side. If you do not set your priorities rightly, you will be swept into the whirlwind of busyness and neglect my presence. Remember, everything begins with me and must also be sustained by me. If your fellowship with me weakens, every other accomplishment will gradually wither away. I also want you to keep the tenderness of heart that allows me to continue guiding you. Growth can sometimes make you feel as if you already know enough or have done enough. Yet that is when your heart is most vulnerable to hardening. Keep the posture of a student always ready to receive new instruction. When you carry such an attitude, I will continue to open to you deeper dimensions of the plan I have prepared for you. My child, I will teach you the principle of sowing and reaping on a new level. Increase is not for you to keep for yourself, but so that you may become a channel of blessing as you learn to share, to help, and to invest in others. You will see that the increase does not stop with you, but continues to flow through you to touch many lives. The secret of abundance is not in hoarding, but in giving. Remember that every increase must be guarded with prayer. Do not only pray when you are in need, but also when you are in abundance. Prayer will keep you alert, help you recognize hidden dangers, and discern the opportunities that truly come from me. Regard prayer not merely as a necessity, but as the very breath of your spiritual life. I want you to know that I desire not only that you begin well, but that you finish well. It is easy to start a season of increase when everything feels new and exciting. But to endure faithfully until the end requires an unshakable bond with me. That is why I continually remind you, remain in me, as the branch remains in the vine. For apart from me, you can do nothing, John 1:5-5. Therefore, step into this season of increase, not only with excitement, but with a heart that is watchful, humble, and more deeply connected to me than ever before. When you move in rhythm with me, you will not only receive what I give, but also be transformed to reflect me more fully. And that blessing will spread far beyond every limit you once imagined. My child, I want you to clearly understand this important truth: increase is not the finish line, but only the beginning of a new stage of stewardship and protection. If the previous season was one of sowing and waiting, then this is the season of guarding and strengthening. A wise farmer does not abandon the field once the harvest is gathered, but inspects every storehouse, secures the barns, and ensures the precious grain is kept from harm. In the same way, you must carefully watch over what I have entrusted to you. Never forget, the enemy does not give up simply because you have won a victory. In fact, when he sees you entering a season of fulfillment, he will work even harder to destroy it. Sometimes he will not strike directly, but creep in through small cracks in your heart, a little complacency, a little pride, or a little distraction. That is why I call you to remain watchful. Watchfulness is not living in fear, but maintaining a spiritual posture of readiness, recognizing every subtle sign and dealing with it before it becomes a greater issue. My child, fortifying your spiritual territory means holding firm both within and without. Internally, you must nurture your prayer life. Study my word daily, and keep your heart tender before me. Externally, you must establish principles and protective boundaries so the enemy cannot infiltrate. These may include boundaries in relationships, financial principles, or personal disciplines that guard you from temptation. I know that when everything seems to be going well, you may be tempted to think you can manage it all on your own. But my child, this is precisely the time when you need to lean on me more than ever. If you begin to rely solely on your own strength, you will soon find yourself exhausted. Yet if you allow me to remain your source of strength and wisdom, you will see everything sustained in peace. As I have declared, not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, Zechariah 4:6. My child, strengthening does not mean stopping, but ensuring that each step you take is secure. Some may run swiftly, but cannot endure. for they have not taken the time to establish firm foundations. You must not allow haste to drive you into unprepared steps. I desire that you move forward while building a strong foundation, so that every spiritual structure you raise will stand the test of time. In this season, I will teach you to discern between what should be expanded immediately and what must pause for consolidation. Not every opportunity that comes should be seized at once. There are doors I intend for you to enter only after you are better prepared, so that when you step into them, you will stand firm and not be swept away by the pressures within. Strengthening also includes safeguarding the relationships I have given you. Some companions are my gifts to you. They will help you keep your vision clear and lift you up in times of difficulty. Yet others will come to test your faith and patience. You need wisdom to know whom to keep walking with and whom you must release. A relationship that does not bring you closer to me will eventually draw you away from my purposes. I also want you to understand that strengthening requires perseverance. You may not see new results immediately, but do not let that discourage you. Like a builder patiently laying brick by brick, you too must patiently build each part of your life and calling as time passes. You will realize that it was those slow and steady steps that established an unshakable foundation. My child, do not forget that growth and strengthening must always be accompanied by gratitude. Gratitude keeps your heart tender and protects you from the hardness of pride. When you thank me for the little, you will more easily receive and keep the greater. Pause often to remember all I have done, for the memory of grace will guard you against forgetfulness and self-exaltation. I want you to know that I am not only the giver, but also the protector. When you entrust everything to me, you will experience a deep peace that covers you. That peace does not come from having everything perfect, but from the assurance that I am guarding what belongs to you. As you walk in my protection, every scheme against you will be rendered powerless, and every blessing you hold will multiply. Therefore, continue to watch over and strengthen what I have entrusted to you. Stand firm, remain watchful, and be faithful. For it is this very faithfulness in this season that will prepare the way for a new season of increase beyond anything you have seen before. My beloved child, now is the time I teach you a deeper principle. You are not only called to preserve, but also to expand. A spiritual territory that remains stagnant will eventually shrink. But when you actively move forward in my will, it will grow stronger and larger. Expansion is not merely about conquering new ground, but about deepening the roots of the kingdom's influence in the places where you already stand. My child, expansion begins in the heart. Before I enlarge your outer boundaries, I will expand the vision within you. If you only see the small, you will only prepare for the small. But if you see as I see, you will begin to prepare for the great. Therefore, I will place within your heart greater desires, dreams beyond your capacity, so that you may know with certainty that only I can bring them to fulfillment. I also want you to understand that expansion requires a spiritual strategy. The enemy will not remain still. As you step into new territory, it will build barriers, sow fear, and even use those around you to discourage you. But do not forget, my child, that I have given you authority to tear down every obstacle. My word is your most powerful weapon of offense. When you declare it with faith, walls that seem impenetrable will crumble. Expansion also requires you to recognize the right timing. Not every door must be opened at once. Some doors I will keep closed for a time, so that you may focus on strengthening what you have newly received. and then open them when you are ready to bear the weight. My child, trust in my timing. When I say now, every element will align, and you will enter with a favor beyond what you could imagine. My beloved child, I will also bring to your side strategic partners in this season of expansion. They may be people you never thought would walk with you, yet I have prepared them in advance. When you meet them, you will recognize that they carry skills, resources, or connections you need to fulfill your mission. Yet be discerning, for there will also be those who come only to benefit from your fruit without helping to build. I will teach you how to discern and wisely choose those who are meant to walk alongside you. In this season of expansion, I also want you to remember to walk in humility. As your influence increases, many will praise you, but you must always turn the glory back to me. Remember, you are only a vessel, the source of life, strength, and blessing flows from me alone. When you humble yourself, I will continue to lift you up, but if you allow pride to take root, it will limit your capacity to expand. Do not fear when I lead you into places where you have never set foot. What seems unfamiliar is not meant to trouble you, but to teach you to depend fully on me. There you will see that every step requires my guidance, and this very dependence will keep you close to me, guarding you from the temptations of success. Just as Abraham set out for a land unknown, trusting only in my word, so too you are called to walk by faith, not by sight. Expansion is not meant for you alone, but so that many others may share in the blessing. Every new territory, every new sphere you enter will become a place where my light shines. Darkness retreats, and captives are set free. This is why I have prepared you for such a long time, so that when this season arrives, you will not only preserve the blessing, but multiply it. Remember this principle: sustainable expansion always requires continual strengthening. As you move forward into new ground, you must also look back to ensure that what you have already built remains secure. Do not neglect what has been established, for the enemy will seek to creep into the areas you ignore. You must hold a wide vision looking ahead while also protecting what is behind. And you must also prepare for the increase of pressure. Expansion brings greater responsibility, more visibility, and at times stronger opposition. But do not let this make you afraid. I did not call you only to abandon you in the middle of the battle. Every pressure will be an opportunity for you to witness my power displayed through you. As I spoke to Joshua, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. My child, enter this season of expansion with eyes wide open and a heart fully ready. Do not merely seek ease and comfort, but seek my presence in every step. When you keep me at the center, every expansion will not only be success by human standards, but true victory in my kingdom. And when you have completed this path, you will see that the purpose was never just to gain more, but to let my light shine brighter. Reach farther and pierce deeper into this world. Be ready. This is the time to both hold fast and advance. This is the season when I will do far more through you than you ever dreamed. And when it is finished, you will look back and know with certainty that it was not by your own strength, but by my hand that guided, protected, and opened the way for you, my beloved child. Now is the time I want you to look back and recognize how my hand has been at work in every season. Not one stage of your life has been meaningless. The days you thought were wasted standing still were the very moments your roots sank deeper into the solid rock of my presence. The battles you fought were not only for victory, but to teach you to stand firm, to endure, and to hold your ground even under increasing pressure. Now, my child, I will lead you into a new season where blessings and challenges will walk side by side. You will see great doors open, but along with them will come heavier responsibilities. There will be golden opportunities, yet also more subtle traps. This is why I want to equip you with a steadfast heart, one that keeps its gaze fixed on me and does not get distracted by circumstances. You may ask, Lord, why must I still face trials even when I receive blessings? My child, it is because true blessing is not measured only by what you receive, but by how you keep it and how you use it. I do not want you to remain only a recipient, but to become a faithful steward. A wise steward understands that what is entrusted to him is not for careless use, but to be multiplied and directed toward a greater purpose. In the same way, everything I place in your hands is connected to a part of my divine plan. My dear child, in this season, you will begin to witness the results of seeds you planted long ago. Some of these seeds have lain hidden beneath the soil for many years, seemingly forgotten. But now I will cause them to sprout and bear fruit. Prayers once sown in tears will now turn into songs of thanksgiving. Yet I remind you, the harvest requires wisdom. When the grain ripens golden, the enemy will attempt to intrude, to destroy, to steal, or to spoil the harvest. That is why I instruct you to remain watchful. Watchfulness is not only to resist the enemy, but also to recognize and embrace every opportunity I provide. Opportunities do not always arrive wrapped in beauty. Sometimes they come disguised as difficult situations or challenging words. But if your heart remains pure and your spiritual ears stay sensitive, you will discern my voice in every moment. My child, I will also allow you to experience another kind of blessing, the blessing of partnership. In this season, I will bring alongside you companions who share the same vision and heart. They will supply what you lack, and you will add to what they are missing. Together, you will achieve what you could never accomplish alone. Yet I also remind you to discern carefully, for not everyone who comes near in this season is from me. Some will arrive to support, but others to take advantage. Spiritual wisdom will enable you to distinguish and choose rightly. One thing I want you always to remember, every success in this season must remain under to my guidance. Do not let the speed of increase cause you to lose the rhythm of listening. When you see things accelerating, devote even more time to stillness before me. It is in that silence that you will hear clear instructions and avoid missteps. This season is not only for you to see promises fulfilled, but also for you to become a living testimony. Those who once doubted will have to admit that my hand rests upon your life. Those who mocked will marvel as they watch you stand firm and flourish. But remember, you do not need to answer every criticism or prove yourself. My presence in your life will be the strongest reply. And finally, my child, know that I have brought you into this season not simply for you to enjoy blessings, but to prepare you for seasons yet to come. You are stepping into a new cycle, where every victory opens another door, and each door leads to a deeper mission. If you remain faithful in every step, you will find yourself ushered into realms of influence you never imagined. Therefore, my child, be ready. Do not fear when blessings and trials arrive together. It is only a sign that you stand at the place where light and darkness collide, where true victory is being forged. Hold fast to your faith, cling to my word, and walk forward in peace. For I, the one who has called you, I am also the one who will complete the good work I have begun in you. My beloved child, the most important thing is that you learn to keep balance. Blessing must never cause you to forget your source, and trial must never rob you of hope. Spiritual balance is the compass that keeps you from being swept away by the shifting waves of life. You must understand that blessing and trial are not separate realities. They often flow side by side like two currents in the same river. The sweet waters of grace and the hard stones of testing coexist, and if you know how to navigate, you will pass through every bend. Blessing reveals me as the giver. Trial engraves in you the conviction that I am the keeper. One broadens your vision. The other strengthens your foundation. Both are necessary for your growth. In days when blessings overflow, you may easily be swept into the busyness of new opportunities. I do not want you to lose the rhythm of prayer because of a crowded schedule. Remember, prayer is not an accessory, but the very source of life sustaining everything you have. Just as a tree must continually draw water from its roots, you must continually draw strength from me through prayer and meditation on my word. Conversely, when trials arrive, you may be tempted to withdraw, to hide, and to focus only on the hardship before you. But my child, I call you to keep moving forward. Even slowly, trials are not meant to stop you, but to teach you how to advance in adversity. Like a soldier pressing on under heavy fire, you must keep your eyes fixed on the goal and not let the noise around you pull you off course. Balance is also revealed in the way you manage what I have entrusted to you. When you receive material blessings, remember that wealth is not the foundation of security. True security comes from placing your trust in me. If you allow wealth to control you, it will become a burden. But if you allow it to serve my purposes, it will become a tool for freedom. The same is true in the realm of relationships. When blessings come, many will want to draw near to you. When trials arise, many will walk away. You must not let your emotions be shaped by the comings and goings of people, but instead ground yourself in my unchanging love. I will send to you those who remain with you in both blessing and hardship, and they are the comrades you must cherish. I also want you to understand that spiritual balance does not mean everything will always be calm. There will be seasons when you lean more heavily in one direction, for example, focusing intently on spiritual battle in times of fierce trial, or devoting yourself to stewardship and expansion when blessings overflow. Yet even in that leaning, your roots must remain firmly anchored in me. To maintain balance, you must listen to me continually. Do not assume that because I led you one way yesterday, I will do the exact same today. Each season has its own strategy, and each battle its own method. If you rely only on past experience without seeking me, you will easily lose your way. But if you learn to discern my voice in every circumstance, you will always walk in the right path. My child, I also want you to avoid two dangerous extremes. One is arrogance when blessings come, thinking you have reached the summit and no longer need me. The other is despair when trials come, believing everything has ended. Both are traps of the enemy to rob you of balance. Pride separates you from me in ease. Despair separates you from me in hardship. But when you keep humility in success and perseverance in adversity, you will stand firm. I know that holding balance is not easy. There will be days when you feel pulled in opposite directions at once. But remember, You are not meant to hold balance by yourself. It is I who keep you steady, like a small boat at sea. If you drop anchor in the right place, my presence then, no matter how fierce the waves, you will not be swept away. This season will be a journey of learning to both hold on and let go. Hold on to what I entrust to you, but release what does not come from me. Hold on to faith, but let go of fear. Hold on to faithfulness, but release false expectations. When you discern what to keep and what to release, your heart will be lightened and your steps will grow steadier. I want you to know that balance is not a destination but a continual journey. Each day, you are invited to adjust, to listen, and to reorder your priorities. And as you live this way, you will discover that both blessings and trials are tools in my hand, used to transform you, to make you stronger, wiser, and closer to me than ever before. Therefore, embrace both with gratitude. When you give thanks and blessing, you will learn humility. When you give thanks in trial, you will learn the strength of faith. And when you hold this balance, you will not only stand firm in this present season, but will also be prepared to enter greater seasons of glory ahead. My beloved, I want you to understand that the blessings and trials you are now experiencing are not separate events, but two forces together propelling you forward. They are like the two wings of a bird with only one. You cannot fly. Blessings open doors. Trials strengthen your feet to walk through those doors with stability. Both are necessary if you desire breakthrough. My child, breakthrough is not a sudden moment that appears without warning, but the result of a long process of careful preparation. I have used blessings to expand your reach and trials to fortify your inner strength. When the two meet, there will be a powerful convergence that is the moment of breakthrough. Yet I want you to see that true breakthrough is not merely about achieving what you long for, but about becoming the person I intended you to be from the beginning. In this season, I will show you that what once made you stumble will now become your stepping stone. The tears once shed in loss will now water the seeds you are nurturing. The criticisms that once wounded you will now become motivation to walk with greater resolve. Nothing is wasted in my hand. Breakthrough does not come from avoiding difficulties, but from learning to face them and overcome them. Just as a soldier does not become a general by avoiding the battlefield, you will not become strong in faith if you only seek what is easy. I have allowed you to walk through certain battles so that you might gain the skills, endurance, and vision necessary for greater assignments ahead. Remember, the blessings in this season of breakthrough are not the final reward, but the tools for the next mission. I do not give you more so that you may pause and indulge, but so that you may be ready to serve at deeper and wider levels. As you step into new territory, you will encounter greater needs, more open doors, and also more challenges. Blessings will provide the means. Challenges will keep you humble and watchful. My child, I also remind you that in the season of breakthrough, the pace of everything will accelerate. Opportunities will come quickly, and change will unfold constantly. If you do not anchor yourself in my presence, you will easily be swept into the whirlwind of busyness and lose your focus. But if you maintain the habit of seeking me daily, you will know what to act on immediately and what to leave for later. This discernment will guard you from exhaustion. In your breakthroughs, there will be those who rejoice with you, but also those who envy or oppose you. You cannot allow their reactions to determine your steps. Remember, that you are not called to please everyone, but to please me. If you keep your eyes fixed on me, you will not be shaken by either praise or criticism. I also want you to understand that breakthrough requires delegation. You cannot do everything alone. I will bring alongside you collaborators, people with the same heart and mission. You must learn to trust, to train, and to entrust responsibilities to them. True breakthrough does not come from one person doing it all, but from an army moving forward in unity. I see the places I am about to take you, and they are larger than you imagine. There are doors you never thought you would walk through, and tables you never thought you would sit at. But I am bringing you there not for recognition, but so that you may carry my light into those spaces. Do not forget that you are an ambassador of my kingdom, and every step you take carries a mission. As this season of breakthrough unfolds, you will realize that everything I taught you in previous seasons had its purpose. Lessons of patience will keep you calm when things move too fast. Lessons of faithfulness will help you endure when new obstacles arise. Lessons of humility will keep you from pride when success comes. All of it has been preparation for this moment. Therefore, do not be troubled when blessings and challenges walk side by side, even in your breakthrough. That is how I ensure that you not only arrive at your destination, but remain there firmly. A tall building cannot stand long without a deep foundation. A person of great influence cannot sustain without a solid spiritual base. Step into this season of breakthrough with complete trust. I have brought you here, and I will lead you further. Let blessings become your resources, and let challenges become your trainers. When both are at work together, you will find yourself not only reaching what you once dreamed of, but surpassing it, becoming the person I destined you to be, and fulfilling the work I have entrusted to you. And when that day comes, you will look back and see that every tear, every prayer, every moment of faithfulness has woven together to form this breakthrough season. You will know with certainty that it was never by chance that you arrived here, but that I have led you, step by step, through both blessing and trial, until now you stand in the glory of my will. My beloved child, you are now standing at the threshold of a new season, the season of walking fully in your mission. Everything you have gone through, from the uncertain early days, the steps taken in darkness, the battles that felt beyond your strength, to the overflowing moments of blessing, all of it was never random. I have arranged every detail to prepare you for this very day. The past season of breakthrough was not merely a reward, but a transition. It was like a bridge carrying you from the shore of preparation to the shore of execution. On this new side, your focus will no longer be solely on building yourself, but on impacting and transforming the environment around you. This is the stage where what I have placed within you will be revealed in clarity and power. In this season, I will open doors you never dared to knock on before. I will lead you into places you once thought you did not belong. Yet remember, I am not sending you there because you need those places to define your worth, but because those places need the light you carry. That light does not come from you, but from my presence dwelling within you. My child, as you step into the season of fulfilling your mission, you must keep a tender heart and a resolute will. Tender, so you may hear and obey my guidance. Resolute, so you will not be swayed by pressure or opposition. Voices will rise, some to encourage, some to hinder. You must not let applause or criticism govern your path. You must let me alone be your compass. I also want you to understand that in this season, The attacks of darkness will become more subtle. If in past times the enemy tried to hinder you through fear, lack, or external pressure, now he will attempt to distract your heart with things that appear good, but are not from me. You must learn to distinguish between what is good and what is truly of my will. Not every opportunity is a door I have opened. This season of execution will require you to live in complete dependence on me. You cannot rely on past successes or strategies that once worked. Each day, you must seek me to know what to do, what to say, and where to go. When you maintain this connection, you will not operate by your own strength, but by the power and wisdom that come from above. I will also place greater responsibility upon your shoulders. The influence you carry will reach many, and therefore, you must live as an example, not the example of flawless perfection, but of one who is faithful, humble in success, and quick to return to me when you stumble. Never forget that influence is not meant to elevate yourself, but to lift others closer to me. Prepare your mind to face new challenges. They will not be like those you have known before. The trials of this season often involve keeping the fire of passion alive when the work becomes busy and complex. They also involve preserving your original calling without letting it fade amid the weight of many tasks. I want you to always remember the reason I called you from the beginning, so that you will not lose direction in the current of success. In this season, I will teach you how to both lead and serve. Leadership is not about sitting high and issuing commands, but about being willing to step down and bear the load alongside your companions. Service is not about doing small things to appear humble, but about placing the interests of my kingdom above personal gain. When you both lead and serve, you will create an environment where humility and strength coexist, and that is the most enduring power. The season of carrying out your mission will not be a smooth, straight path. There will be unexpected turns, exhausting climbs, and moments when you feel like stopping. But remember, I am always with you. When you are weak, I will be your strength. When you are lost, I will be your light. When you are weary, I will be your rest. You never have to bear this mission alone. Know this season is only the beginning of a longer journey. What you do today will impact generations to come. The seeds you sow now will bear fruit in times when you may no longer walk this earth. Therefore, sow with faith, with love, and with faithfulness, so that the legacy you leave will endure forever in my kingdom. My child, step into this season with absolute trust that I have prepared you. Do not look at your own limits, but at the one who has called you. When you do this, you will not only fulfill your mission, but you will complete it with joy, peace, and glory that rises to me. This is the very moment you were born to live. My child, I want you to engrave these principles upon your heart as markers that will keep you on the right path. If you hold to them, you will not only stand firm but also grow. You will not only sustain the initial flame, but see it burn ever more brightly as time passes. First, remain in constant connection with me. Busyness is one of the greatest enemies of spiritual life. As work and responsibilities increase, you will be tempted to cut down your time with me, thinking that diligence can make up for it. But my child, nothing can replace being in my presence. In that stillness, you receive guidance, strength, and peace to face all things. Place me as your first priority each day, not as something to fit in, only if time allows. Second, Guard your heart against pride and comparison. When you succeed, there will be praises. When others are lifted up, there will be the temptation to compare. But my child, my measure is not the measure of the world. I do not weigh you by outward results, but by faithfulness in every step. If you remain humble, you will always be ready for new guidance. If you avoid comparison, you will walk lightly, free from the burden of others' expectations. Third, establish healthy boundaries. Not every door that opens is one you should enter. Not every invitation is one that comes from me. If you say yes to everything, you will quickly burn out and lose focus on what matters most. Learn to say no to things that may be good, but are not for the right time or purpose I have set for you. Boundaries are not weakness, but wisdom. Fourth, preserve the circle of partnerships and relationships I have chosen. I will place companions beside you not only to help you accomplish tasks, but to uphold you when you are weary. Yet you must stay alert, for the enemy will try to enter through connections I have not ordained. Discern who I have sent and who has come to pull you off course. Nurture the relationships I give, and do not hesitate to cut off those that harm your calling. Fifth, let my word remain close to your lips and in your mind. My child, my word is not only a foundation but also a weapon. When you declare my word over circumstances, you invite my power into action. When you let my word shape your thoughts, you avoid choices based on fleeting emotions. Do not let the demands of life cause you to forget reading, learning, and meditating on my word daily. Sixth, remember to care for yourself in body and in mind. I created you with a body, a mind, and a spirit, and each must be cared for. A weary body will weaken the mind. A stressed mind will burden faith. Rest when needed. Eat with balance. Exercise in measure. And find moments to renew your soul. Lasting endurance does not come from exhausting yourself to do more, but from sustaining a healthy rhythm of life. Seventh, always keep a grateful heart. Gratitude softens your heart and helps you see that every good thing comes from me. When you are thankful, you will not fall into complaint during hardship. Instead of dwelling on what you lack, you will notice my grace in each small step forward. Gratitude will be the strength that steadies you when storms arise. Eighth, remain steadfast to your original mission. Along the way, you may be drawn into side pursuits that gradually pull you from your true purpose. My child, keep returning to the question, does this help me fulfill what the Lord has entrusted to me? If the answer is no, you must courageously adjust your course. This steadfastness will guard you from straying and ensure that what you do bears lasting fruit. Remember, true victory is not measured by how much you accomplish, but by whether you complete what I have given you. On the final day, I will not ask how fast you ran, but whether you were faithful in your race. Faithfulness is not perfection, but the willingness to rise again after every fall and continue walking until the end. If you keep these principles, you will not only sustain the results you have gained, but also expand your influence in a lasting way. You will not merely complete your own work, but you will leave behind a spiritual legacy that will reach beyond generations. And when that day comes, when you stand before me, you will hear my voice saying, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master." My beloved child, this is the moment where every word I have spoken, every preparation I have made, and every step you have taken All converge for such a time as this. You are no longer in the waiting season, no longer in the place of testing, no longer within the comfort of safety. You are now standing before the very door I have opened. And this door will lead you into a journey that will not only transform your own life, but also the lives of many others. I call you forth, not with empty hands, but with everything I have already placed within you. You carry experiences refined by fire, lessons purchased with tears, and a faith tested and purified in the furnace of trials. You are no longer the person you were when I first called you. You have been transformed into an instrument I can now use for this great work. You may look around and feel you are not fully ready. But, my child, readiness does not mean the absence of fear. It means you are willing to move forward even while trembling. Because you know I go with you. Readiness is not having all the answers, but knowing that I am the answer. You do not need to see the entire path ahead, just take the next step in the light I provide. And the rest will unfold in due time. I urge you not to delay any longer. Delay is one of the enemy's most dangerous strategies, for it deceives you into believing there is still plenty of time, while in truth each passing day is a lost opportunity that cannot be reclaimed. There are people waiting for you to step into your position, for their mission is tied to your obedience. If you hesitate, a chain of divinely appointed events will be held back. Remember this as you step forward. I will not only grant you power, but also cover you with protection. You will face opposition, but you will also see undeniable signs that I am fighting on your behalf. I will dismantle the enemy's schemes even before you are aware of them. I will bring you into places where favor goes beyond natural understanding. So you will know with certainty that it is not by your strength, but by my hand. I also want you to understand that walking in your calling does not mean you will never feel weary. There will be days when your strength seems drained and your resolve wavers. But, my child, in those moments, do not seek strength outside, return to me. I, myself, will renew your strength like the eagles. So you will run and not grow weary. Walk and not faint. Your endurance does not come from sheer willpower, but from your continual connection with me, the source of life. In this season, keep your heart in a posture of learning. Do not think that because you have reached a certain level of influence, you no longer need instruction. I will send people, circumstances, and even challenges to broaden your vision. True wisdom is not found in knowing everything, but in knowing you can always grow and receive more. I also remind you that as you carry out your mission, do everything with your heart directed toward me, not seeking the recognition of people. The approval of the world may come quickly and fade just as quickly, but the reward from me is eternal. Let your motives always be purified in my presence, so that everything you do flows from love and obedience. Prepare yourself for increase. As you obey and step forward, new doors will continue to open before you. This increase will not only be an influence, but also in the depth of your relationship with me. You will see my word come alive in ways you have never experienced before, because you will not only hear it but live it. Your faith will no longer be theory, but a tangible reality. When you complete a season of the journey, do not forget to rejoice in me. Joy is not only a reward, but also the fuel that carries you onward. Take time to give thanks, to remember the victories, and to share them so that others may be encouraged. Gratitude will keep you from pride in success and from discouragement in trials. I see ahead of you a great harvest, It will not only be the harvest of what you have sown, but also from fields you never imagined you would step into. I have prepared connections, resources, and opportunities that you could never create on your own. All of these will come in their appointed time. And when they arrive, you will know with certainty that this is the season I have ordained. Therefore, step out with complete trust. Do not look back with regret. Do not look to the side with comparison. And do not look down with fear. Keep your eyes fixed forward, where I am leading you. You do not walk alone. I go before you, beside you, and behind you. I surround you on every side. The day will come when you look back and see that every step, whether small or great, was used by me to fulfill my plan. And when you stand before me, you will not regret your obedience. You will hear my voice saying, "You have finished the race. You have kept the faith, and you have completed the mission I entrusted to you." My child, this is the moment. Do not wait another day. Step out, take hold of the mission, and allow me to do the rest. Thank you for listening to today's message. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so together we may receive the living word, build unshakable faith, and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.